You can listen to Radio Biafra via a variety of platforms, but most ostensibly is www.radiobiafra.co. I repeat, this has been our flagship website. If you log on to Radio Biafra, you should be able to listen to us. If you log on to www.biafratv.co, that is biafratv.co, not .com, .co.co, you should be able to listen to us. If you log into www.ipob.org, that is ipob.org, you should be able to listen to Radio Biafra without spending so much of your data. If you also log into www.thebiafratelegraph.co or www.biafratimes.co, all this, by the way, is published across the variety of social media sites and platforms on which Radio Biafra and IPOB is domiciled. And also on my page as well, NNAMDI KANU. There will be an update, should I say periodic updates on my page this very evening. Therefore, I ask you, those of you who may wish to ask questions, to proceed also to my page. We're also on Radio Biafra on Facebook, the page, please. Radio Biafra page. Our enemies tried to clone most of our work, most of the things we are doing. They try, or should I say they try to replicate it. But the real one is Radio Biafra on our Facebook page. That also will be advertised extensively this very evening for those of you who wish to join us on that very platform to be able to do so. I welcome you. It is not a very happy time in the zoo, and once again, my name is NNAMDI KANU. I'm the leader of IPOB. I lead the people of Biafra all over the world, and by the grace of the Most High, I will continue to serve the people of Biafra until the end of my time. I welcome you, but we must pray. As you all know very well, on this hallowed platform, it is our responsibility and our duty to hand over our proceedings to Elohim, that only Him may take glory. Worthy of the grace of Elohim, that Biafra may come in our time, because it is not within our gifts to give. Biafra is not within the gift of man to give. It is within the gift of Elohim. We must proceed. This evening I depart. I will not pray you a prayer of David. That is this very beautiful prayer that Hannah prayed. Remember Hannah? Hannah is the mother of Samuel. In the scriptures, Hannah was barren, but Elohim did the impossible for her. The same prayer that Hannah prayed at the same temple where I have prayed in Jerusalem, is the prayer I will pray this evening. Because something very remarkable is happening in the lives of our people. They have now realized that IPOB has been right all along. They now realize that this very movement of Biafra restoration is the only hope for our people. They now realize that everything that I have been saying, every utterance that I have made, has now come to pass. But no. That is why I will pray this prayer. Because Chukwu Okike Abiama asked us to remain resolute, to be without fear before our enemies, and we have done that. Today, with the events of the past few days, we are now justifiably and with every good reason referring to the damnable zoological republic for what it is, the home of animals and people who cannot reason properly, people who do not understand what oppression is all about, people who are suffering and they are smiling. Today, their shame is complete. Because there is nothing sweeter than, didn't I tell you so? Or had I known? Everything we've been preaching on this platform, everything that this noble family of IPOB, mind you, is also everything we have stood for over the years was vindicated on Saturday. Everything we believed in. Everything we've believed in was vindicated. People saw what they have never seen before. Because of that, our prayers have been answered. And I will pray the same prayer that Hannah prayed to Elohim at the temple in Jerusalem. That I pray this evening from the United Kingdom. For our heart rejoiceth in the Most High, who has exalted our horns, who has lifted us up in his mercy. For our mouth is enlarged over that of our enemies. This is the prayer of Hannah to Elohim. That's what I pray this evening. Onwe mechigondino, hapụghị ikwu okwu, ndị ntamu wee gbasasịa, ndị nzuzu wee susuru wee baa n'ime ụlọ. Amamihe ha enweghị ebe o ruru eru. O wee bụrụ nke nkịtị. Unu hapụ m ka m sụ asụsụ eluigwe. Although I know that most people don't understand it, but this is the language of heaven. We rejoice this evening in the salvation of Elohim who has vindicated IPOB, because there is none holy as the Almighty One of Israel. For there is none beside Elohim. That is why I don't worship idol. I only worship the one true living Elohim in heaven. The same God of Abraham, the same God of Isaac, the same God of Jacob, the same God of Joseph, the same God of Moses, the same God of Aaron, the same God of Joshua, the same God of Caleb, the same God of Samuel. They had the fullness of wine because of money and because of wealth. But today, those of us that preach this very gospel of redemption, we have emerged triumphant, because only the Elohim, you give and you take. You bring everything down to the grave ultimately, and only you can also raise the dead. Only you can make the poor and make the rich. You bring people low and you lift them up high. Only you can raise up the poor from the dust. Oh, baby, and you lifted us up to set us among princes and to make us inherit your throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth belongs to Elohim, and he set the world upon it. And Chukwokika will keep IPOB. And the wicked shall be silent in darkness as they are now. But it is not by our strength that we prevail it, but by the grace and mercy of Elohim, to whom we dedicate this very program, to whom we give every ounce of praise, every adoration, every honor and every glory, that your name, O Elohim, be magnified forever and ever, we pray. He said, we proceed this very evening to preach this very gospel of truth, that the world may bear us witness. This very program is designed to drive home the truth that Nigeria is unworkable as presently constituted. I don't know why people cannot see it. I don't know why they are so foolish enough to comprehend it. I do not know if their foolishness is attributable to their poverty of understanding, their very low intellect, or the education system that Providence have decreed that they pass through in that hell called Nigeria. I don't know what it is. But you can now see that they cannot, with any degree of conviction, be classed as human beings. They do not reason. They don't know when to rise up to revolt. They don't know when to get angry. They don't know when to say enough is enough. All they do is bask in their own ignorance and stupidity. And that is why their life is one almighty misery. This program this evening, by the grace of Elohim, will bring home some truths to some people. That, as difficult as it may sound, as difficult as it may be for them to comprehend, we have always been right from day one, that the system is unworkable. Your PVCs are useless. If you rely on them, you will lose. And you've seen what they've done. They opened up the floodgates of Niger, of Cameroon, of Chad, and of Benin Republic in the north. Every Fulani enclave bordering northern zoo called Nigeria flooded in into Borno, into Kanu, into Katsina, into Sokoto to cast their vote for their brother who is from Sudan, complemented, of course, by underage voting. And people go about every day pretending that all is right and all is well. I am truly ashamed. I don't know why Elohim placed Biafra in that part of the world, to be honest with you. I am truly ashamed of people that claim they're intellectuals, but full of idiocy and hypocrisy. When it comes to IPOB, they speak. But now they are silent. We understand that our system sometimes could break. The deputy is telling me that our system was off for a while and is back on now. I hope that you're listening to me wherever you are. You mustn't give up, because enemies are trying very hard as they could, to ensure that our program is disrupted, but we must continue. This is Radio Biafra. We don't give up. We dealt with the zoo that day, left us alone. We must deal with whatever it is that is now disturbing us. The zoo is falling apart. I have a message for everybody in the damnable Zoological Republic today. The message that I bring to you is a very simple one. If you're one of those who are tired of what is happening in the zoo, if you're one of those that spent years campaigning, that went out to vote, and your vote did not count, as I understand some of them were lamenting. When they saw hell, they ran away and they were lamenting very bitterly. If you're from the east, which is Biafra land, if you're from the west, which is Yoruba land, if you're from the middle belt, the TV land as well, I ask you to join IPOB, that we may set you free as well. You must join IPOB, that we may set you free, because the entirety of humanity is listening and they are waiting. They want to understand one very simple fact. Why can't you people behave and act like human beings? Why are you not enraged by the outrage of the cabal of APC and of the very backward Fulani regime running the zoo into the ground? Why can't you rise up? And I will tell you why this evening. But before I do so, all those of you that wanted a change from the change, all those of you that cried and pleaded with IPOB to lift the boycott, which we duly did, all of you that hoped that what you were exercising on Saturday, your inalienable right, as some of them tried to remind us, that ended up counting for nothing. If you're upset, then you must join IPOB. Only a popular resistance, only a revolution of the people against the corrupt regime can save you. Anything else is bunkum, pure and absolute rubbish. It doesn't matter if you're from Biafra land, from Ududuwa, from the lands of the Middle Belt. For you to be free, you must join IPOB. Then we'll help and save you wherever you are. As Biafra is going, everybody else is going as well. This contraption is unworkable. This contraption cannot work because it is full of evil men. Evil, evil men. And as they are growing, as Ohanese tried to do in our land, they are grooming baby saboteurs, baby traitors. They are grooming people to take over from them. Very sad indeed that people cannot rise up against tyranny. Everywhere else in the world, every other continent in the world, people rose up against tyranny. Only in Black Africa are we always finding it difficult to rise up. Those of us that rose up against tyranny, and they came to kill me, they killed my men. Some of you idiots, we are clapping and laughing. Do you now see how useless your lives are? Democracy is about establishing the will of the majority of the people. In your case, the will of that very majority was trampled, flagrantly disobeyed and disregarded. You were told that you are nothing. Returning officers were told the results to announce, or else they will be held captive in perpetuity. Resident electoral commissioners were held hostage under gunpoint to falsify and announce fake results. And you have the temerity to rise up the next day to go on social media to comment rubbish. That means you have no shame. It means you're not worthy to be called a human being. It means you don't exist. It means you're a complete waste of space. You must learn from IPOB. Had we boycotted the elections, they would have blamed everything on us. It is the curse of IPOB. That's why P2B lost. That's why Atiku lost. But we lifted it and delivered the entire Biafra land to P2B and to Atiku, knowing fully well that Fulani will say no. Only Kanu state is more than the entire Biafra land put together, the number of their fruits. That's how foolish people are. Those of you that said you will stick to restructuring or no election, that was the best position you could have taken. But given that you are Black African people, you never stick to your guns. Once they came calling with money, with inducements, you fell apart. That was why Black people from Africa is the only race in the world domesticated like an animal. to work in the farm. Some of you don't know this. That the earliest forms of, should I say, organized or primitive mechanized agriculture was either a herd of cows, or should I say donkeys pulling the plow through the farm, or the workhorse. As soon as they discovered black people, they retired the donkey, the horse, and the cow. Black people from mostly West Africa became farm animals all over the world for nearly 300 years and counting. We did that for a reason. That is to highlight our collective stupidity as a race. I say it without any apologies. People are so foolish, it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Of course, there are isolated incidents of personal brilliance, or should I say flashes of brilliance. That's all there is to it. Collectively, we are morons and idiots. Somebody from Sudan, to make matters worse, somebody from Sudan who is not from Nigeria, somebody, an impostor, could come to your land and rig elections, and you can't do anything about it. It is a shame and a disgrace. I feel sorry for you people. I feel sorry for you people. Honestly speaking, your only savior is IPOB. If you have any sense left in your brain, from tonight, everybody should identify with IPOB, and within 2 weeks, you will see what will happen. That's all you need to do. Within 2 weeks, you will see what will happen. You will see what will happen. Some of you, dear friends, that left this very struggle because of what you've been promised, because of your PVCs. And some of the very hopeless Nigerians, I call them the PVC people. Especially those of them from Igbo land. They were very, very vicious in terms of their attack against IPOB. The left Alamajiri was attacking IPOB. How foolish they are. They are now complaining. Everybody's complaining. The election was rigged. Of course, I've been telling you that since 2014. It will be rigged over and over again. It will be rigged. When Jonathan was being pressured by Barack Obama to leave office, I was on air telling you that Barack Obama is on the phone pressuring Jonathan to leave. I also warned you people that the then Buhari, who is now dead and buried in Saudi Arabia, like every other jihadi around the world, like Morsi of Egypt, I made that very broadcast, and deputy, you must find it and play it. They want to, listen, the Islamic Brotherhood wants to get into power, but once they get in, they don't want to leave. They claim they are coming via democracy or via a democratic means, one man or one woman, one vote, and all the rest of it, ballot box. Once they get in, they change the rules of the game. And that is what they have done in the zoo. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Your so-called useless international observers, what have they done? Absolutely nothing. As usual, anybody could have predicted what they were at. Yes, election held. There were isolated incidents of violence and disenfranchisement of voters. But all in all, we think the election held. Because they've given them money. The same thing they do with ambassadors serving in Nigeria. I've said this many times. They bribe the ambassadors. Every ambassador in Nigeria is bribed. British High Commissioner, American, they are all given bribe to keep quiet. They see evil, they cannot speak. Soldiers are massacring people on the road on a daily basis. They cannot send a decent report back to their home country. The excuse is always, if Nigeria is destabilized, the entire region, rubbish, absolute bunkum. Soviet Union collapsed, the world did not collapse. How much more the tiny, dreadful, ignorant, backward zoological republic? This is what I said to them. Soviet Union collapsed. The world did not come to an end. How about a very insipidly corrupt, festering nonsensical contraption like the zoo that the British created. Russia, Soviet Union collapsed. The war did not end. There was no nuclear war, nothing. What is this nonsense that ambassadors and diplomats keep sending back to the Western world? Oh, if anything happens to Nigeria, it's a regional power, it's the most populous country in Africa. Rubbish, pure nonsense to justify the enslavement of nearly 200 million people. Because they bribed them. So you people don't know. Every ambassador serving in Nigeria from a respectable country is today a multimillionaire because your useless foreign affairs will go and give them money. That's all. So army can come on the road and kill IPOB family members, nobody will talk. Army can go and massacre Shia, nobody will talk. The secret could be held incommunicado for 4 years without trial, nobody cares. The same thing to El Zagzagi. People can be rounded up, kidnapped, anybody can be taken. It doesn't matter. Life continues as usual. All these things happening tells you about who you are. That you are a black person and that you are infinitely stupid and useless. I say it all the time. Infinitely useless and hopeless in this Shoji Dinjusu. They think they know something, they know nothing. Isn't it very simple? Isn't it very, very simple? Stand on what you said in the beginning. And I say it tonight, only if. I'm not saying Atiku cannot be president if he wants to be, or Peter to be vice, but only if Afenifere, Pandef, Ohaneze, Middle Belt, only if they had held on to what they said initially, which was no restructuring, no election. Do you know what the advantages are? Because within that move to restructure the zoo, they would have built in safeguards that would have prevented election rigging as part of the package. Very simple and very neat. But these same people, these Awusa Fulani people that appointed them, most of them, in fact, almost all of them, they your pastors were saying, use your PVC. And I said, you cannot vote out a tyrant with PVC. It has never happened in Africa before, and it can never happen again. Jonathan left office because he was not a tyrant. But the idiots couldn't understand it. Somebody that overthrew, or in his name, a civilian government was overthrown. Buhari is now dead in Saudi Arabia, rotting away. You all can see the pictures. You all can see the difference between Jubril and Buhari, but you all pretended somehow. Oh, we don't want NNAMDI KANU to be right. We don't want IPOB to be right. Because of that, when you see the truth, you say the truth is no longer the truth. And that is why you're suffering. How many people died? We shall get to that later. Only if they stood on their restructuring or no election, as IPOB did. We won't be where we are today. Never, never. Because once the West and the East Middle Belt says no voting, if you don't restructure, the zoo comes to a halt. Forget all the nonsense. Only two people can vote, and we declare that we know that useless logic already. Where are we now? You have voted, haven't you? He is leading. Jubril is leading. A Sudanese man, Jubril is leading Atiku in some states by 500,000 votes. How do you intend to make that up? India is over 1 billion people. India conducts elections and announces results within the same 24 hours. India. You are only 200 million, and it's taking you nearly a whole week to announce the result of elections because people vote and results are written. That's what they do. And you know that, I know that, the whole world knows. Do something about it and you say no. Allow Biafra to go? No. Change your voting system? No. And you come back and you're complaining. Check it. Useless set of people. We have won, haven't we? We always do. You were pressuring me to lift the boycott, and I lifted it because you will blame me. And not only did we lift it, we made sure that the entire Biafra land voted for PDP, didn't we? And there's one case. People came out and voted for PDP. They said that's their preference, that's their choice. So how come you still lost? Because you don't have the mettle, you don't have the balls to stand up to tyranny. Only IPOB can. I believe that I'm still on record as the only person that stood up against the tyranny of Buhari when he was alive. I'm not sure any other person did. When they came to my house to kill me, some of you black monkeys were busy jumping up and down and celebrating. That's how useless some of you are. Very, very hopeless and useless. You don't appreciate nor understand a principled stance. You don't know the meaning of it. Had all of you stuck on to no restructuring, no voting, this nonsense on Saturday could not have happened. It's as simple as ABC. And the worst was that you actually agreed to do it. But when they started flashing Naira around you, you capitulated immediately. Very sad indeed. Useless set of people who cannot reason very well. They can't reason. They cannot think. Their brain is vacuous, very empty. They can't reason. They were shouting all over the place. When the soldiers came and were massacring people, our own people, on the streets of Bayelsa, streets of River State, nothing. They couldn't do anything. Because they've sold their conscience. They have none. They are just empty barrels. All they do is to make empty noise. They can't do anything. No one takes them seriously. How can you win an election against the cabal of Fulani? Have you noticed that the Sultan of Sokoto have not said anything? The Emir of Kanu have not said anything. No, don't worry. They will announce Jubril as the winner. They'll come and say, let's move the country forward. Let's work together. We are one country. Let's unite. They contribute nothing to the economy. Absolute zero. Nothing to the economy. But they're there living it large. Not that they have anything to offer. They have nothing to. I keep saying it. Show me one country run by a Fulani man that is developed. One, name one. That's why it's zero. Of course, they cannot be. Because they are wicked and they are evil. In their heart of hearts, they are a wicked set of people. Very evil, I'm telling you. Look at what they have done to you. Was there any gunfight in Kanu? Any gunfight in Sokoto? Any fighting, even in Boko Haram areas, they were delivering votes, 4 million for Jubilee. In Boko Haram areas. Unbelievable. But in the south, there was war everywhere. They incited the useless Yoruba Muslims to attack Igbo people in Lagos, to attack Biafrans. They came down to our land in Bayelsa, in rivers, shooting people, killing them in broad daylight, asking you, what can you do? When I say, let's come together under IPOB and fight this common enemy, he said, no. He saw elders. Where are the elders now? Where are they now? That's how useless they are. How can you win an election against the Fulani cabal when they control the army? They control the navy. They control the Air Force. They control immigration. They control customs. They control the police. They control civil defense. They control road safety. They control INEC. They control judiciary. And at their back is Yoruba media. You know, Punch and Tribune and Nation, Yoruba. Some of you don't know that Yorubas most of them are Muslims. They will always support their Muslim brothers from the north. You don't want to get this thing into your brain because you're daft. They will always support them. You think Yoruba has Yoruba ever voted for you before? Have they voted for you before? But I'm sure that our people voted for Basanjo. Oh, Basanjo lost Yoruba land. But Biafra, Southeast, South voted for PDP to make Obasanjo the president. We are a consistent race. We are consistent. Don't mind all the idiots, Hanese and Igbo governors. They are useless. I keep saying it. They have now seen that all those things I've been saying from day one is correct. You engage them or else they can't give you anything. You have to hold them in a very bad place. Then they deliver. If not, they will never, ever, ever. Because they don't reason the way you do. They are too parochial, too selfish, too tribalistic. They will never, ever. That useless one Nigeria mantra doesn't apply to them. They understand it better. That is why all their slaves, they are appointed in our land. They are giving them Senate tickets. Take and go. Take and go. They are favorite slaves. If you want to enjoy, come and serve Fulani, and then we'll give you ticket as well. And sadly, most of your so-called useless elders have joined them. How sad that is. With all this security apparatus in their control, how can you people foolishly were looking? They took away the Chief Justice of the Federation. Now, if that wasn't a warning bell, I don't know what is. The usual idiots made noise. If the CJN, I said they would do nothing. They would do nothing. Because when they came to kill NNAMDI KANU and IPOB, you did nothing. When they took Dasuki, you did nothing. The same CJN they removed, when they took El Zakzaki, detained him, he did nothing. All the judiciary could have done to save everybody is to say, we will not go to the courts until you obey the law. Very simple thing that people do all over the world. But because you people are Nigerians, you are stupid. You are born into hopelessness and stupidity. That is why your life is the way it is. The same man that refused to protest the illegal detention of Dasuki, the man that failed to protest the illegal detention of El Zakzaki, today he's been removed himself. Do you see how blacks reason? Do you see why we blacks are backwards? Do you see why when the white man was running South Africa, things were moving very well? Now they've given it to we black people. South Africa is in a mess. I speak the truth. You may not like it, but it is the truth. If you don't like it, go to the market tomorrow morning, buy a very strong rope, look for a nearest tree and hang yourself because you're foolish anyway. There will be one less idiot on the earth. Because you don't like the truth. But I must preach it. Because I must preach it. And that's what I'm doing. I don't write what I preach. I come and it comes to, once I'm behind this microphone, I am under divine instruction. Everything I say comes to pass. Everything. You will vote, but your vote will not count. Has it not happened? He said, if not, he said, NNAMDI KANU, this thing they are doing, this miscreants, all this thing that we have, okay, now we have voted. Yeah, what result? You've seen it now. Okorocha held somebody at gunpoint, saying you must declare me the winner. So I will go to the Senate. You must. And the worst part of it is that, in fact, to their credit, the Nigerian media was reporting it live, that the resident electoral commissioner in Imo State is under hostage. They are holding him. They are asking him to declare fake results. Everybody knew what was happening, but kept quiet until he was declared the winner. He was declared the winner. The same thing with Jesus Carlo in Abi. And you're telling me that we are normal. He doesn't respect you. You behave like a fool, and you want me to respect you. You must be drunk. You're drunk. You must sound presidential. You must sound decorum. No, nothing. Have you seen it? Have you seen the result? Have you not seen it? What is going on? Have you not seen it? I ask you. Yoruba is the problem of Nigeria. Yoruba is bad for Nigeria. I feel sorry for Middle Belt because we are going. They will take over the land from them. Yoruba cannot stand up to defend the truth. Instead of Yoruba to fight Fulani, Yoruba is busy attacking Igbo businesses in Lagos. Telling people not to vote. Preventing us from voting. When I said people should sit at home, they said, oh, he's asking them to disenfranchise them. Now we said go and vote. They came out to vote and Yoruba said they will not vote. And all of you saw it and you're pretending you are one Nigeria. You are a hypocrite and lower than animal. They opened their border with Niger, with Chad, with Cameroon, with Benin Republic. And I'm asking people voting in southern part of the zoo and in Biafra land, how do you hope to win? You know, people don't even reason. How are you going to win? Please tell me. And Amaka, I want you to post on my page immediately the video of people thumbprinting. The video is there that the election was rigged. Yet an international observer will write and say election was free and fair. Only in some areas there was some rigging. Voter materials came late. People, we black people, we love to deceive ourselves with lies and half-truths. I am not one of those people. Any day I pass on, of course I know I'm going to heaven, I'll ask the Almighty Creator of the heavens and the earth, why did you even bring me close to Africa, where people don't reason very well? The people that don't reason very well. Including online. The influx of Alamajiris alone from Niger, from Chad, from Cameroon, and Benin Republic will make any southerner or a liberal like Atiku to lose any national elections. People of the zoo, the animals that call themselves Nigerians, must stop being stupid, narrow-minded, idiotic, and downright useless. A Sudanese man, Sudan, is in charge of you. Sudan. You listening this evening from Abuja, from Lagos, from Kaduna, from Kanu, you know that Buhari is dead. Everybody knows Buhari is dead. But that Yoruba girl wanted to convince people, we can't allow NNAMDI KANU to be right, please. No, it's not possible. That will bring about Biafra. And this our country is indivisible. Not even a country you created. Nigeria was created by the British, not even by a Nigerian. When you hear idiots talk about the indivisibility of Nigeria, it makes me laugh. You did not create Nigeria. It was within the gift of the British to decide if Nigeria should be 1, 10, 15, or 20. If they decide to let Biafra go, tomorrow Biafra will go. It's a zoo is indivisible. The Soviet Union is superpower with nuclear. Oh my goodness. Soviet Union broke. Talk less of a useless, wretched, backward country like Nigeria. Full of liars and criminals everywhere. People must stop being stupid. I tell you. Do the right thing and join IPOB to bring your misery to an end. Only IPOB can save you. I'm saying it today. Where is today's date? So they can write it on a piece of paper. Today's date is the 26th day of February 2019. The time now is 7:15 in the evening, which is 7:45 in Biafra land. We've been on air for nearly 45 minutes. Write it down on a piece of paper. Your only savior is IPOB. Nobody else can save you. It doesn't matter if you're from the Middle Belt. It doesn't matter where you're from. Only IPOB can save you. Without IPOB, you're doomed. It's very funny. I've been receiving messages all day today from people who have now repented, saying that they can now see what IPOB is saying, that we've been right all along. I said, yes, of course we've been right. If we had insisted on boycott, you would blame us for everything. Now everybody voted and you've seen what the result is. You've seen it. They are international observers. Please, Amaka, I still want you to post the video of our sister Ibisaki Amakri. It's very interesting because of her surname. With her surname, you will know where she comes from. She's a Jaw. She was gunned down during the presidential election by a Nigerian soldier from the north. A Fulani man killed her rather. And she was working for INEC. If you refuse to rig, we kill you. And she was killed. And people are carrying on. Crusade is going on. Pentecostal pastors are collecting money as usual. Everybody, the liars are lying. Everything is going on in the zoo as if nothing happened. But she's lost her life. She's dead. A very sad case. She's a master's degree holder. But today she's dead. Dead because she's an INEC official and a Fulani boy in the army says read, and you say no, they shoot you. You can do it. Nothing you can do about it. Tomorrow, your people should write about how Buhari turned to article. And sometimes I read and I think to myself, these guys are jokers. But they're not joking, they're very, very serious. That's a black man for you. As idiotic as ever. Idiotic. Beyond idiocy. There was no shooting of voters in the north. Nowhere in the far north. They kill some people in Kaduna because, of course, you have southern Kaduna, which are, there are Christians. Everybody's quiet, pretending everything is normal. Oh, let's leave it for God. Oh, let's leave it for God. Let's leave it for God. That's how hopeless we are. I'm not happy, honestly. If the event on Saturday, the rigging of the elections, the killing of our people, of everybody, in fact, all over the zoo called Nigeria, the blatant rigging cannot cause you to join IPOB. I don't know what. I don't know what will. If you can't swallow your pride and say that what IPOB has been doing is correct, then you have a serious mental problem. Okay, you have a mental problem. And it will be very, very foolish of PDP to accept this nonsense. Look at Venezuela and learn from them. Be very strong. Be very, very strong. Be very, very strong. I assure you, eventually, the facts are there. Who doesn't know that PDP won? Who doesn't know? I'm asking. But I'll imagine, dear me. That is how foolish Nigerians are. If those who are driving cattle can drive you about anyhow, that means you are even more useless than a cattle. I'm telling you the truth. Everywhere things are happening, evil is happening everywhere. And I will just take a slight detour to tell you or to report what the Zoo media have been reporting all along. This is not from me. This is what they have. This is what they are writing. What's the headline for this one? An election of tears, sorrow, and blood. Yet some idiots are not concerned about the dead, not concerned about the rape of democracy. All they want to hear is, oh, who won? Let them call the result now. So Saraki lost. Chineke. And these are graduates. Oh dear. Terrible. Black and useless to the core. God put all the most useless people in the world in Africa. The most useless people are found in Africa, I tell you. We are beyond useless, honestly speaking. They wrote here, a young voter was killed at a polling unit in Anyamba, Gekina local government area of Kogi State. He was allegedly killed during an argument over who he should vote for. He died violently, exercising his right in a place that should have been, they were in the polling booth, they were arguing. He said, I don't want to vote for APC, I want to vote for PDP. He was killed. Polling unit in Ayemba, the Kinado government area of Kogi State. But I think that, hey, it won't matter to you, will it? It won't matter to you because you're a black man. I started in England here, where I see the way they react. When one person is murdered in England, the police goes into overdrive. The newspapers, the TV, they even hold an inquest. Let us find out why this person died so that other people will not suffer the same fate. Do you see how civilized countries behave? Yeah, at least in their own land. But this is just another story. Oh, please, somebody will be after it, then somebody will ask you, oh, but who won in Kogi West? Somebody that went to vote was killed. You have no empathy, you have no conscience, you have no soul. All you are full of is wickedness and ignorance. Because you are born in a zoo called Nigeria. You have no soul. An animal is better than you. He's dead. He is dead. Going to vote. Can you believe that? Somebody going out to vote. In Australia, I think they even pay you to go and vote. They pay you to go and vote. This one, you go to vote and you're killed. When LPOB said sit at home, they said, no, we want to spoil disenfranchise. We have enfranchised now, and now he's in the grave. In River State, people are dying, falling like flies in my own land of Biafra. Unmitigated violence across the entire state. Agent of a political party shot to death by security agencies. In Delta, the same. 3 voters mowed down by armed thugs at a polling unit at Amugbe area of Sepele town. The violators were said to have shot at voters as they queued to cast their ballots. These are animals. You see what it's called a zoo. Wild beasts. A Nigerian is the human version of a wild animal. They don't listen very well. Useless to the core. In Bayelsa, the killing continued in Nembe after violence broke out in the area. In Lagos, Yoruba thugs were chasing Igbo people all over the place. I want Amaka to please post the video of the girl lamenting that all their efforts, their voting had gone to zero because Yoruba thugs came and destroyed the entire place and set the ballot papers on fire. And as you're posting it, you are also tagging those that claim that they are international community to see the nonsense happening in the zoo and tell me on what grounds this very election should be allowed to stand, given the gravity of what transpired on Saturday across the entire zoo. Please, I want you to do that right now. So the world may know. If you go to my page, this is very simple, Now, I'm sure very soon Yorubas will form another one. NNAMDI KANU. You will see it there. You will see it. All these facts are there and figures. So you can tell, maybe educate yourself and also your children that the place they call Nigeria as their country is a country full of animals. I'm telling you the truth. Mad people everywhere. We must go. I'm an elder. Oh, these children should listen to you. I'm an elder. Now they are covered in shame. Because what I saw, not just sitting down, what I saw kneeling down, you cannot see from the top of Mount Everest. An elder who cannot see what is about to happen is not an elder. This thing happened today. Did I say it was going to happen? It's of course it will happen. You're dealing with Alamajiri. They didn't go to school. There was no WAEC result. Jubilee doesn't have WAEC result. Buhari, before he died, no WAEC result. The law specifically states that you must have a WAEC result to contest. But they had none. Do you know who defended Buhari? Obasanjo. Say, oh, he went to Mom's military academy. Because of that, how can you say he doesn't have WAEC? Let's say to go now. Baboons in the zoo everywhere. Both literal and metaphoric. They were arguing an election should not cost the life of citizens. This is a blood election. They're asking, can we get it right? How can you get it right to an animal in a zoo? How is that possible? You're a zoo animal. The picture is the same everywhere you go to. Somebody said that I saw Secondus. He was wearing, kaftan and undia wasa. And I'm thinking, does he want them to feel sorry for him and give him more votes or what? It doesn't matter how you dress, in your abada, in your kaftan, in your undia wasa, the awasa cap. You will still be used for sacrifice whenever the time comes. You can dress as a Yoruba man all you like, they'll never love you. You can dress an Hausa man from here to eternity, nobody will give a damn about you. When the time for slaughter comes, they'll slaughter you, as they have shown me time and time again. I remember when I used to preach this, they called it hate speech. So a Fulani soldier coming to our land and killing people during election day is love bullet. When they attack IPOB during our peaceful rallies, it is love killing. You can now see the way they are. You can see them for what they are. You can see how evil they are, all of them. We continue. What I'm bringing you are reports made by Zoo newspapers, not IPOB, not Radio Biafra. No. I am telling you what Yorubas themselves are reporting. Those asking, oh, but who won? Oh, they have lost. Oh, that man is no longer going back. Nobody is prepared to tell you the truth. But here on Radio Biafra, I will tell you the truth. I even tell myself the truth. Talk less of other people. I will write, this is from a Yoruba newspaper. A member of the National Youth Service Corps, Ashimom Nsuguta, who also served as an ad hoc official of INEC, has discredited the election that took place in his unit in Nasarawa State on Nasarawa. Everywhere there was fraud everywhere. But go and read your international observers report. They will tell you everything went smoothly. Because they knew that when they were coming, they cannot leave Nigeria with anything less than $2 million each. There is an international observer. So you didn't observe that people are dying in Nasarawa State. You didn't observe that people are being shot to pieces in Delta State, in River State. You didn't see it as an observer. Is this elections? Oh, dear me. Now listen to this story, please. This Nsuguta, who is an INEC official, said that out of 900 registered voters at the polling unit, the card readers were able to authenticate only 15 persons, while the others voted without being accredited. And I said to them before, when an Igbo man was the INEC chairman, he introduced option, is it A4 they call it? Come outside and queue behind whoever you're supporting. That was very easy, very easy to determine or to discern who the winner is. They said, no, the world has moved forward. Let us go with technology. I said, you are talking about technology in a country where you have no light. Where almost everybody is the criminal. Until she threw out. How can you run an electronic election when you have no electricity? How is that possible? They said the world has moved. You know, when you argue with a typical useless Nigerian, that's how they go. Oh, the world has moved on. We are in this age. After all, my Chinese phone is working. I'm online. So because your cheap Chinese phone is working, you think you've arrived. And you think you have what it takes to be able to contribute towards any form of debate at all that could advance the well-being of the entire people. Very sad indeed. This copper said, I was forced to hand over ballot papers to persons who printed the papers for a particular party, APC. They force you to hand over ballot papers. They will not give this extensive coverage. Every idiot is focusing on Abuja. The collection center in Abuja. Have you seen the result from Nasarawa? But I tell you that people were printing for APC in Nasarawa, and you're asking for the results from Nasarawa. What do you expect? Oh, dear Lord, have mercy. This year, black. The time now is a minute past 7 p.m. here, a minute past 8 p.m. in Biafra land. We must preach. Chukwuemeka said I should preach, and that's exactly what I'm doing. They said, nobody sent me. That's my job, and nothing more, nothing less. And Chukwuemeka said, as long as you're behind this microphone, everything you utter will come to pass. Everything you say must come to pass. So I stand on divine authority tonight to tell you that only IPOB can save you. You are just perambulating. After all the nonsense, at the end of the day, you will all look for IPOB. Write it down on a piece of paper. You think Flani will leave you in 2023? You are daft. You are a dreamer. They will never. You think they're stupid? No, they're not. This is the last time I'll be doing this bullshit, he said. This is a youth copper. This is the last time I'll be doing. That was the word he used. Not mine. INEC ad hoc nonsense. Everybody knows the whole thing is a charade. Look at the Fulani man, the INEC chairman. Are you people not stupid? Contestants, Fulani, INEC chairman, Fulani, Army General, Chief of Army Staff, Fulani, every other person, Fulani. And you think it will be free and fair? Are you not stupid? Are you not hopeless? Oh, dear me. He continued to say, having disenfranchised myself in the name of ad hoc staff, I was almost thoroughly beaten. I was cowed into submitting the bulk of the ballot papers for mass thumb printing. And after reading, let me tell you what shocks me about black people. After reading this nonsense about what transpired in Nasarawa State, you will still be looking at, is it Jegao? I don't know who the idiot is now, the Fulani INEC chairman. You see, what is the result for Nasarawa? And now back in the early election, Nasarawa, and I just a result. Are you not foolish? Oh dear. I don't know. Unbelievable. No, we must continue. That is just, I'm going to tell you what papers reported in Nigeria. Yet, Nigerians are asking for results from Collation Center. The election has been rigged already. Can't we hear? And you're asking for the result of the rigged elections. You're telling me you're well. How I was forced to announce Okorocha winner of Senate seat, INEC returning officer, carried by a national newspaper in the zoo. I think Amaka, post the video clip, please, so that the world can see it. Post it that people can see it. This is democracy. And some people are saying, oh, congratulations, Okorocha. Okorocha has won. They are telling you that the INEC returning officer was held at gunpoint. Held at gunpoint. Held at gunpoint. To announce Okorocha as the winner. Somebody is writing. Somebody who claims he's a graduate is writing, congratulations, so Owele of the Olu or Igbo, whatever, on Lincoln. God. Dear me. Anyway, we are not black for no reason. There must be a reason why we are the way we are. When you see Michael Jackson preaching himself and you blame him, nobody wants to associate with this. The way we reason is despicable. I'm telling you the truth. We are useless. It's okay. I'll read it for you. It's here. Sunday night's melodrama snowballed into a full-blown controversy on Monday morning when the returning officer for Imo State, Imo West Senatorial District, Innocent Hibabuti, said he was detained at the center for days. He said this while announcing the results of the senatorial election for the zone. Before reading out figures at the District Election Center in INEC office in Olo, Mr. Babuti, a professor, African professor, said he was being held under duress to announce the results. He said, my name is Ibabuchi, is Ichuku Innocent, a professor at the Federal University of Technology in Owerri, Futo, the returning officer for Imo West, Olu Central District. The official said, my area commander, my POs, the party agents here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, he went on to narrate what happened to him. He said, it was not immediately clear why Mr. Babuti initially refused to announce the remaining results. But Mr. Babuti said here, I declared Rochas Okorocha the winner of the election. Mr. Okorocha's old rival and the former senator sitter, Izunaso, came third with 30,000 votes. And somebody is writing a congratulatory message to Okorocha, origin very well. And some of them justify this nonsense by saying that, oh, if PDP had a chance, they would have rigged as well. That is the way a black person reasons. I keep going on black people tonight because our stupidity is becoming inexcusable, collectively and individually. Our foolishness is becoming inexcusable. That I can assure you. This nonsense has gone on too much. If black people can no longer reason, then they have no need to exist. as a people. We might as well go back to the farms or ask Europeans and the Americans to come and take us back to the tobacco farms, the sugarcane farms, and the cotton fields, because we are becoming more useless. Other races are advancing, but we black people are, should I say, retarding by the day. Unbelievable. Instead of there to be an uprising everywhere, a revolution everywhere, to say that what is happening is evil, they're busy asking you, but who won? And I'm going in irrigation and ask who won. How sad. How very sad. That is that story there, because there are many of them. This is another one. It is everywhere. When they finished doing their nonsense, our markets, the Biafran markets you have in Lagos, they are claiming that one Nigeria. Don't forget it. Oh, don't allow NNAMDI KANU to divide us. We are one Nigerians. Let's remember Ndibo Lagos. Ndibo, you know those idiots. Ndibo Lagos. As idiotic as anything you can come across. Look at it here. Some markets in Oshodi, Ajegunle, and the Solo in Lagos were shot. That's 2 days ago. No, yesterday. Even yesterday and today, and barred from opening their shops and displaying their wares because they voted for PDP, or were even prevented from voting for PDP for expressing a view and opinion, a political preference. Tinubu and his OPC talks in Lagos decided to fight them and stop them from opening their shops. And you don't learn. You don't learn. You know, I keep saying that we are Jews in more ways than one. The same nonsense happening now happened to the Jews. They suffered inquisition, genocide after genocide. They kept pretending everything was well until Hitler came. One day, an Igbo man will get his Hitler from the Fulani race and we will be decimated. And they've killed us 3.6 million before. This time around, maybe they should attempt 20 million people. Maybe, who knows? After that, then we'll wake up because the way we are going, we're the type of people that are wearing red caps, calling themselves one nonsense or the other. We are heading for destruction. I can tell you that. Your only savior will still remain IPOB. They won't even allow us to open our shops. And it is one Nigeria. One lovely, beautiful Nigeria. One lovely Nigeria. Some say that from a group called Enough is Enough. But Buhari is ahead in the race. Is it a rigged race or a fair one? Everybody knows it's not fair, and where you have unfair elections, you cancel the whole nonsense and you start all over again and you build in some safeguards. But will you learn anything? The answer is no. Before 2023, will you do anything? The answer is no. You appoint another Fulani man, another Fulani INEC, whatever, chairman, another Fulani chief of army staff, and your whole life starts the same old foolish cycle again because you never learn from anything. But what have they done? The idiots could not content themselves. They come online and every other nasty place that they gather themselves to try to cast aspersions and to disparage the very wonderful work that we are doing. Very envious and bitter people. They are not blaming INEC or Yakubu, whatever his name is, the INEC chairman, for manipulating the results. They are not blaming the soldiers for killing people. They are not blaming INEC for the very shoddy handling and lack of preparation for the elections. Some of them are blaming NNAMDI KANU and IPOB for their failures and incapabilities. They accepted the results as after what I've just explained to you. They accept it, and they come back to say, we don't know, KANU should have lifted the boycott many months ago. All your votes combined, let me repeat, all your votes combined in the Southeast and the South is not up to that of KANU and Katsina. So, but I'm not sure your brain can do the quick maths, can it? You are black, so you won't be able to understand. You will not be able to understand nor appreciate precisely what is happening in your lives. This is Radio Biafra with the time now standing at approximately 12 minutes past the hour of 7 here in the United Kingdom. I have not left yet, please. I have not left. When I do, I will tell you. You know me, I don't lie. So I give information as they come in. I would have left on Sunday, but a few things came up. So I had to stay behind. But when I do move, you will know. Somebody has very cleverly compiled something here. They call it facts about the elections. About those blaming NNAMDI KANU and IPOB for their failures or their failure to tackle Fulani. The same thing when Fulani headsmen came and we were fighting them. They instead chose to focus on IPOB. They left Fulani headsmen to be killing people. They tagged IPOB, a peaceful movement, a terrorist group, and allowed the terrorist group to be going about slaughtering people at will with no military intervention of any sort against them. Wasn't NNAMDI KANU or IPOB the people that set up Nigeria Electoral Board? Was it me that deployed the soldiers to chase voters away from the polling units? I'm not sure if we'll say it, but we'll have to say it anyway. You know, these are black people from Africa. They don't reason very well, but we'll try and see if we can help those of them that want to be saved along. Let us see if they can reason. At Aboni, my people died. Was it IPOB that asked the army to kill people there also? Easterners were chased away like rats all across Lagos by their fellow Nigerians, mind you, and prevented from voting. Was it IPOB that burnt your ballot boxes? Was it me that gave the order for ballot boxes to be snatched? Were we also responsible for the faulty card readers? Is it me that is responsible for the late calling of the results? You know that they were rigging it. Once there's a delay, you know it's rigging. But all of you kept quiet, you did nothing. And you're looking for who to blame. I can't be bothered with these people because they are not really relevant. They are beyond redemption. It is only INEC that decides the results of elections in Nigeria, not your PVC. The sooner you understand this, the better for you. Your PVC is useless. But it wouldn't stop you from trying. You keep trying. Okay, Zipazu gave Jubril 27% in Abia. That's what they do in Abia. Very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. You cannot win a battle with people that control both the army. They draw up the rules of the game. They choose the umpires. They draw up the logistics of the battlefield. Everything is determined by them. You stand zero chance of winning. That is exactly what happened. When they were doing all the changes, removing everybody, DSS is Fulani, Army Fulani, Navy Fulani, Air Force Fulani, road safety, everything Fulani, up to and including the Chief Justice of the Federation. What do you think was going to happen? Are you that foolish? You didn't know what was going to happen? This is it. And it has happened. So the sooner you realize this, the better for you. Join IPOB. That is the only people that can save you from your own stupidity and ignorance. Now you see why they wanted me dead. They wanted me dead because I understand the Fulani game. I can tell you what if you want, I can tell you today what they'll do in 2023 if the zoo is still there by then. It's a very simple game. They will continue. And I understand that very well. And the sooner you do too, the better for everybody. I understand every step they take, every move they make. And I cannot be brought. I am unbuyable. But I mention the person's name and I will sing the person. They're not unbuyable. You know the thing about criminals is that because they think like them. Because they accept amnesty money. And now they are broke. They think everybody will go behind and collect money. Because they hate their people so much that they rather invest abroad than invest in their villages. They think you are also going to do the same. That is the mentality of a black man, and that is very sad indeed. No wonder we are where we are today. But there is a ray of hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And what is that light? That light is IPOB. And only IPOB can set you free. Therefore, I call upon everybody who has been disenfranchised, either unofficially or officially. If you're fed up with the Nigerian state, if you're miserable about how your life is going down the drain, if you want there to be a genuine and real change, then you must join IPOB. You must abandon everything you're doing and join IPOB, because only a revolution will suffice. Without a revolution, you'll be going through the same nonsense every 4 years. You must rise up and be counted. You must rise up and fight. You must rise up to defend what you believe in, if not for your sake, but for the sake of your children. Imagine if they're doing this to you, what they will do to your grandchildren. By then, Fulani will be everywhere, and it will be too late for you. And you'll be saying, oh, had I known. Rather than saying, had I known in the next 20, 30 years, you better do something now to save the future of not only ourselves, but generations unborn. And only IPOB can help us do that. And I would rather this revolution starts tomorrow. There is no need to delay it. If you allow this travesty to stand, then there is no chance. They will go door to door, house to house, slaughtering people, and nobody will raise an eyebrow. Consider what I've just told you, mull it over, digest it, and perhaps tomorrow you'll be a changed person. You cannot remain in ignorance forever. I thank you very much for listening. And from me, from here, it is good evening. Wonderful people, great dear friends, wherever you are on the face of this very planet, we welcome you to hopefully another exciting edition of our worldwide address on the eve of the elections in the damnable Zoological Republic. We're coming to you live and direct from London. I must apologize for our late coming. It was due to circumstances